What's up, YouTube? So, continue with the G82 build. If you've been following shorts all week, you've seen we've gotten parts in, but we're going to go through the list of parts that we've gotten in this week. And I was kind of wondering how to start this video. And then I realized I knew the perfect spot. We have the wheels coming back, hopefully tomorrow from powder coat. And with that being said, we got to fix something that for some reason German engineers have never been able to fix. They can do many things. They can over-engineer absolutely everything. I forget one crucial part. But first, let's go through that parts list. For some reason, this thing looks strangely majestic up on jack stands. Makes me want to do like air jacks. Speaking of, I can't talk about it today, but I believe we have picked up our first sponsor, and it is going to be something wild. I'm waiting on the package to come in the mail first, then I can explain it all to you and what we're going to do with it, because it's going to get crazy. But on to the parts list. What all have we gotten in? Before I walk through all this, I want to let you guys know I was going to buy one set of wheels. Okay, I was going to buy a set of work Meister S1 3-piece wheels, right? That transaction fell through. It happened, but because of that transaction falling through, I was able to afford all of this, a FIM to unlock, which during this video, I'm pretty sure DHL is going to show up and hand me my computer, and getting my wheels powder coat. You know, it's not very often I say, man, I'm glad something bad happened, but for once, I'm glad something bad happened. I'm glad somebody decided to be a dirtbag because it put me on a better path for this build, and this car is going to be real crazy, real quick. Now back to the task at hand. So we have a whole bunch of carbon fiber. We have side skirts, rear spats, diffuser with the LED rain light, front spats, front lip. We've already done carbon mirrors, side pieces. There's already a carbon wing on it. Oh boy, carbon everywhere. And it's funny because I'm one of those guys that's like, carbon fiber, all it is fancy plastic. But then you get a Brooklyn gray car, and I don't know if you can tell, but carbon fiber looks really, really good against this paint. It is what it is. With that, we also got our boot mod dongle, so we can go and go stage 2. We have 3.5-inch Mastery of Art and Design catless downpipes, MMR stud kit, 15 and 12 millimeter spacers to push out the stock wheels a little bit, make it look a little bit better, give me that little bit better stance. And that's what we've gotten so far. Now, once this whole thing comes through with the new sponsor, we got to do a full walkthrough video on how to install all of that, because that's going to get crazy real quick. But let's get to the point at hand today. Now for the task at hand, for 99.9% of people, this will never be a problem and you will not care. But for those of us that are actual car people, those of us who do some kind of motorsport, go out and play, beat the crap out of our cars, this is a massive headache. What I'm talking about is wheel bolts, okay? It's extremely annoying when you have to sit at the track and balance your wheels to be able to line everything up, or you take them on and off 3-4 times a day, switching out tires, putting on slicks, putting on a different wheel. And I understand there are products out there like Keys Performance and stuff where you can just screw one in and do a bolt, but it's still hanging by that inside those threads. So an easy way to fix all this and make your life way easier than apparently Germans ever anticipated is just doing a stud kit. And that's what we're going to do today. Now, there's absolutely some considerations to take before you do this kind of thing in your car. So with the spacers I got, these were extended out, right? But I'm not going to be using these bolts, and I'm not going to be using regular size spacers. So most people run like a 5 mil, something like that. I'm going to be running a 12 and a 15. So when you do that, you need to extend, right? These are 80 millimeters, still going 80 millimeters from this point forward. That way I can also run the spacers and lock these in. Now, for some reason, these didn't come with any kind of instruction, so I'm going to walk you through how to do these today. It's extremely simple, but there's a lot of little things that you can do to screw this up. First and foremost, know what you want the stance of your car to be before you do this, because once you put these on, trying to break them off, not going to be a good time. If you get if you get some of these studs that are way too short and you go to put a spacer on, you're not going to have enough threading left to be able to actually put your wheel on. Do your homework first. And I know someone's going to do it, so I'm just going to throw the invite out there. Learn from my mistake. If you have a question, feel free to DM me. Leave a comment here or on Instagram, 86face, the exact same spelling, and I will help you because I've done the research. Why not use me, right? Now, let's talk about how to prep and clean everything up before you put these in so you don't screw up. Okay, so the kit that I'm using is from MMR. It is a 14x125. Always check your thread pitch, because if you screw that up, you're going to damage something. And a very cheap, like these were 170 bucks for this whole kit, is going to turn into an extremely expensive job very quickly. These also came with these shank style lugs, which are going to work perfectly fine with my 826Ms. And if you look right there, there's a bevel point, and that's as far as you need to go. Now we're going to talk about how to clean this guy up And in cleaning that guy up, what kind of preparatory things you need to do, and we'll talk about torque specs on how to get all of these installed. All right, let's talk about the things you're gonna need for this. Obviously, you're gonna need your stud. Following that, go ahead and get your respective fitting for whatever you need to be able to torque this down. When we talk about torquing this down, use a proper torque wrench. I want you to set your torque wrench here to 30 foot-pounds, not inches. Okay, there's a lot of misconceptions all online talking about do it in inches, otherwise you're going to strip it. These are 7000 series aluminum. You're not going to strip it. You also don't want to underdo this and lose a wheel at speed. Okay, now for cleaning, go ahead and get you a wire brush. Try to get brass. It doesn't break off as easy. And then follow that up with some brake clean. The cleaner, the better. Your prep job will always save you, because at the end of the day, you're gonna use some red thread locker, the high strength. Again, it's not losing a wheel or your life because you wanted to save $4. Get the tough stuff, okay? And that's what we need to be able to lock this in. But now we'll go ahead and get them installed. That way you know how to do it the right way and not the way AI is trying to kill you. Okay, now go ahead and find one of your threads, get in here with the brush, go ahead and clean it out, right? Don't be afraid, follow that up with a little bit of brake clean. Now the good thing about brake clean, see all the crap that just came out of there? You don't want that in there. Brake clean also evaporates very quickly. That way you can get in there, you never have to worry about it again, all the alcohol's out of it. That is as clean as those threads are more than likely ever going to get. Now, always test fit things. So, test fit these in. Ooh, feel that, hear that ting? That was nice. Go ahead and test fit this in. You're gonna push to where you don't feel any more give. That's where you're gonna start your torque limit. So about right there, okay? You know now that they're going to fit, so back it back out. Look at that, see that? See all that dirty stuff? That's what came out of it. That's what we don't want. Okay, now take a towel, clean those threads back out, because you know, sometimes you're thinking about me. Get your thread locker, okay? This stuff is amazing. Do not skimp on it. Make sure you get all of the threads, because if you don't get all the threads, you're missing things that can be locked in, and that's just dangerous and dumb. Get a good spread. Now this stuff is essentially really strong glycerin sugar water. You're not gonna hurt anything. Boom, that's cool. Actually, oh my God, it's getting everywhere. That's what she said. Boom, okay, that's plenty right there. Honestly, probably a little too much, but go ahead and get that screwed in. Again, screw it in to the point where you can no longer screw it in by hand. Right there, close up your stuff. Get your respective little fastener, get it hooked up. Already have your torque wrench set to 30 foot-pounds, okay? Don't be that guy. Go ahead and hook. Ooh, the rotor moves. I didn't account for that. Pause, hold your thoughts. Smarter, not harder. The battery's disconnected, but the brake booster still works. So wifey's getting in the car right now and hitting the brake. That way it clamps down on this, and I don't have to worry about screwing this up some more. Let me know when you're ready, baby. Just push your brake in. Boom, look at that, and we're good. So wait for the click. Make sure you have this torqued all the way down, and then boom, you're in. It's done. And through the power of movie magic, they are all now torqued, ready to go, and the 15 mil spacer is installed. Now, with the red thread locker, give it 24 hours to cure. Do not put these on and immediately think you're going to the track and gonna rip it, because you're gonna put yourself in a wall and then you're gonna comment on this video and go, you told me wrong. No, I did not. The disclaimer is there, knife hand and all. Let it dry before you act like an idiot. I can say that because I'm idiot. Catch what I'm saying? Let it dry. One last time. Let it dry. Okay, cool. Now we're done with this. I'm gonna go do the other four corners because, yeah. And then we'll talk about the rest of what's going on. It's the next day, and mainly the reason why, because I know I showed you the last clip was the DHL guy dropping this off. We have terrible lighting in this garage. Even more, wifey stepped out last night to get dinner, and we had a screaming child. I've heard many loud exhausts in the world, but nothing is quite as soul-piercing as a child's scream for hours and hours. And in the middle of the night, it's a great time. So if you ever really want to test your exhaust, get a child. Get a child. That's a really weird way to put that. Have a child? Look, let's fix that. Have a child. But anyway, we're gonna finish out this video by putting this thing back in. God, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, it's not getting started. And that's not our fault. One of the vendors we're working with, and I'm gonna keep it like that, I'm not gonna throw the guy under the bus, we're not getting the wheels. I think that'll be Monday, which is a little disappointing, but such is life. But in the next upload, Eric will be here, and we will be installing the Mastery of Art and Design 3.5-inch down pipes, going ahead and uploading the boot mode stage 2, and getting that first fire up and seeing how much our neighbors love us after this. I can smell the HOA fine. Can't wait for that to be carbon too. Okay, so we did things a little bit different than what, God, I want to out so many people. We didn't use a chalk pen. We didn't draw on everything. I mean, we did do that part. Don't worry about that part. But we did do that part, but everything in here is labeled by painter's tape and Roman numerals. Why? Because we learned it. Might as well use it at least once, right? So let's get this thing put back in. And with that, everything's back installed. The DME's back in. The cover, that cover is a pain in the engine cover, which we will be replacing, and the strut bar. It's all good. So that pretty much concludes today's video. But before you guys take off, we still have all of this to put on, including those downpipes, including the tuning, including all this carbon fiber. So if that's the kind of content you're into building cars, you're into building fast stuff, you're into doing things yourself, stick around, become part of the journey. Come hang out with me, wifey, and the baby. That's all I got for you today, guys. Like, share, subscribe, all that craziness. Stick around, because Eric will be in the next one, and we know how much you love those guys. Those guys, that guy. He has multiple personalities. I think it counts. Yeah, it counts. It counts. Multiple personalities. He's brilliant at what he does, but he's also a little artistic. We'll put it that way. We'll be nice. Like, share, subscribe, all that craziness in between. I appreciate it all, y'all. Stay savage.